2025. Let's begin with invocation by Mayor Pro Tem Seats, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Isom. All rise.
Gracious God, our Father, we thank you today for your loving kindness and tender mercy. Thank you for bringing us all here today and give us wisdom, understanding, and let there be peace. Bless our city. Look on everyone that's here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Present.
Commissioner Henderson,
Present.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Present.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton, Commissioner Warren,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Present.
Mayor Mohammed.
Present.
You have a quorum.
This brings us to approval of minutes, March 17, 2025. Is there a motion for the approval?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seats. Is there support? It is supported by Commissioner Henderson. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to approval of accounts payable listing. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Support.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. It is supported by First Ward Commissioner Henderson. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Third Ward Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. Every time I look at this, I think of the budget, and I see that we got a time frame when we'll be looking at the budget, the old budget and the new budget. But there's a couple things that really stood out to me about this AP, and the grass cutting. It seems like we fall right back into the same routine that we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm having a problem with that. There's quite a few unnecessary charges that we have been looking at on this AP list. B&D billings, that's one of them. Unnecessary with the billing. There's a billing charge on there that's really unnecessary for the citizens of Ben Harbor to even have to pay, and we haven't did anything to eradicate that. So it's a few things in here that I'm just having a problem with. So that'll be the reason why I would vote no on it.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard,
No.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
No.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
No.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the citizens' comments. 3-minute maximum per speaker, and the clerk will call you accordingly. I do want to recognize the 38th District State Representative who is present. Would the minutes reflect that, Madam Clerk?
Noted.
Good to see you all again. I was just noting the wonderful sunshine that we have here at a 7 o'clock meeting. It's that time of year in Michigan, right? Get a little sunshine back. Wanted to start making our rounds this year, give some updates to the council on what's going on in Lansing. We were off to a slow start this year, hence a little bit slower getting around to the local government meetings because we didn't really have a whole lot to update on for the first couple of months until committee assignments and those sorts of things have been rolled out. This year, we're in the minority as Democrats, so a little bit of a different dynamic with divided government in Lansing. We still have the Senate, we still have the governor, but we don't have the dynamic that we had in the last term. Things are a little slower, a lot more work to get things done now. That said, still on the Energy Committee like I was last year, also on the Communications and Technology Committee and Transportation. All interesting committees this year. Energy always a really active one, but transportation in light of road funding being kind of the big topic this year has already been a very active committee. We just a few weeks ago, before the legislative recess, voted out a road funding package in the House. It was a majority Republican-led bill, but myself and a handful of other Democrats joined the Republicans in voting it out because of the massive investment that it was going to make in local governments. Recognizing that it's not a finished product yet, the thing the bill doesn't have is funding mechanisms. As you're probably aware, there's a $3 billion road funding shortfall in Michigan right now. And so we're trying to figure out how we fill this $3 billion bucket up because the bonds that the governor had taken out previously to pay for road construction are expiring at the end of this year. So moral of the story is we have to find $3 billion, or the estimate is that over the next 10 years, all of something like 50 to 60% of Michigan's roads are going to be rated fair or poor. Which is not where we want to be, and certainly not where the governor wants us to be, given the focus she's always had on fixing the roads. So we saw an opportunity in this bill package. It's a very large sum of money to local governments. I think what we saw in the estimate was that the city of Benton Harbor would stand to gain $2 million a year in additional road funding. Obviously, that would go a long way to getting a lot of the roads fixed, even with the high cost of roads right now. Additionally, somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 to $30 million extra dollars to Berrien County that they'd be able to deploy on local roads as well. So I think throughout the district, we saw a total of something like $65 million being invested in Southwest Michigan. So from my perspective, I try not to turn down large sums of money coming to our communities that are going to benefit residents, and couldn't find a good reason to not support this bill. But I did want to put that, the asterisk on it that I don't view this as a final product, and we're hopeful that the Senate and the governor in negotiations are going to find those funding mechanisms. Because we can't budget cut our way to $3 billion, not without touching pretty critical pieces in the budget. So I think that's what we're waiting on in the road funding piece. Additionally, you might remember last year we talked about the Public Safety Trust Fund. That didn't quite make it across the finish line at the end of the term, with things kind of falling apart, with the Republicans leaving weeks early, and one of the Democrats in the caucus exiting as well at the end of the term. The trust fund bills are being reintroduced. They may have already been reintroduced, actually. The timeline was relatively close to now. Bipartisan effort right now, so it looks positive that we're going to be able to move those through the House and the Senate with bipartisan support. They had bipartisan support last time as well, so that's nothing new. There was just a question of if the Republicans in the House would view this as important of an issue as many of us did. But it looks like, at the moment at least, they do. So we're hopeful that the Public Safety Trust Fund will get moved this year. And again, that will be a very significant investment in public safety departments in largely cities that have higher per capita crime rates, of which, unfortunately, Benton Harbor is one. But hopefully the money that will come from this will help bolster public safety. We'll note that the trust fund dollars can't be used on military surplus type purchases, which is a concern we heard from a lot of communities. So this can't be used to buy, military equipment, right? It has to be invested in community safety, hiring extra officers, training, that sort of thing. So again, hopeful that's going to be of value, and we'll be able to get that passed this year. Aside from that, we're working on some bipartisan packages in our office, chief among them the nuclear package that we had worked on last term that didn't quite get across the finish line, again, with things kind of falling apart. We reintroduced those with Rep. Wenzel and a few other mix of Democrats and Republicans earlier this year. Those have moved through the Energy Committee, and we're hopeful to be coming to the floor for a vote in the next few weeks, and good signs that the Senate's interested in taking them up as well. I think a huge benefit potentially for us, given that we have 2 nuclear power plants here, and these bills focus on workforce and training. So incentives to our college to restart their nuclear training program, incentives to our nuclear plants to hire, and for workers to come to this community and stay here and work in that industry, as well as the hydrogen sector, which is sort of a sister industry at this point to the nuclear industry. So a few other bills we're working on, but I won't belabor the point. We're still trying to get things done. That's what I tell everybody is that, the dynamics are what they are, but at the end of the day, we're trying to find the best path forward to get things accomplished. So far, I think we've been pretty successful in working with the Republicans in our office. I tried to build relationships last term, knowing that nothing is forever, right? No majority is permanent, and I think that's paying off for us right now. We're still bringing investments home. We're still getting things done. So that's I think where things stand at the moment.
If there are no objections, I'd like to take executive privilege and open it up for the council. If they have any questions for the representative, you will be recognized. Mr. Manager?
Just like to ask if you think that one item that we had last year that we were trying to get done for Public Works might have a chance of being solved.
I've had a conversation with the vice chair of appropriations, the Democratic vice chair, and told him what the situation was, that we really needed the grant to be reworded in order for it to cover the scope of what was needed right now. He told me he's working on it. It's a delicate balance. What we're worried about is that right now what we've gotten from the Majority Appropriations Office is that they want to cut budget items. They're looking for things to cut. And so what I don't want to have happen is for this to suddenly appear on their radar as an item that they can just freely cut. So we're treading delicately with it, but hopeful we might be able to see some progress on it. But it's a tricky one without us being able to get it done at the end of the year last year. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Representative Andrews. I just would say that I'm not expecting any Canadian bacon, but if you can bring home the turkey bacon, we would be most gracious.
There may be a tariff on Canadian bacon going forward, so we'll bring home the most affordable kind we can.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Glenda Wisnat.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank Commissioner Seats for something he did when he was asking you all about the water, how you guys are, if a tenant lives in your house, and if they leave, that water bill is then put on your taxes. And I think y'all didn't pass that bill that day. So I'm asking that the wording be changed as he asked, because that is a problem. We had a lady who rented the house. Her bill was $900. By the time it was on the tax, we ended up paying $2,200 for that. And if they sign an affidavit saying that they're using that water, they should be the one that's responsible for it. So I do thank you, Commissioner Steves, for bringing that up. And also, I'd like to thank the mayor when he put a stop on the fluoride, because fluoride does cause learning disabilities. And if you look across the country, there's a lot of cities, especially Texas, they do not allow fluoride in their waters because we have enough deficiencies with the lead that has caused damage to our children with learning disabilities. So thank you, Mayor Mohammed, for that. And what I would like to see is that we do have better communications with the residents of Ben Harbor, because there's meetings going on. Unless you come to the meeting, you don't know what's going on. We come, a lot of times, the agenda's already made up, so we don't have a voice or opinion in that. So I'm not sure how you guys are funding the communications or what you all are doing for communications, but that needs to be done a little bit better than it's been done in the past. And it seems like all the problems that we've had in the past, I know you guys said when the state took over, they stripped us, and they did. But I think it's time for us to have a mayor-run city. I think the mayor should be paid for this position. And I think that I don't know how y'all would do with the city manager, but you need to be in charge, number one, because you live in Ben Harbor. So that means you care about Ben Harbor. Not just saying, not nothing personal, but when you live in Ben Harbor, you care about your city. You don't poop in your backyard. If you're gonna run with the big dogs, you gotta get off the porch and play. And I think that the mayor-run city would bring a better city for Benton Harbor. You care about, you're gonna make sure that your citizens are employed. When businesses come in, there should be jobs that's going to our citizens. They're the ones who vote, they're the ones that's paying taxes. You're not having any problems with the taxes with them, You know, you increased to $17.45 a month for the water, which is $45,000 a month. Now it's 20. So those are the people you're responsible for. And I do appreciate the sidewalks and the streets, but they cannot vote for you. And that's all I have to say. But I do thank you guys for what you've been doing. You've been doing a great job, and let's keep doing that. And please, and it's enough of y'all to vote in the mayor-run government, because you voted in the city manager. All you need is 5 votes. So think about that, please, and let's see that on the agenda.
No more comments.
This brings us to our consent calendar items. Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar?
Motion for approval?
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. Is there support? Support. Supported by Mayor Pro Tem Seats. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Kennard,
This is the vote on what?
the consent calendar.
Oh, the 2 items. Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Because we are separating, right? Yes, if we can separate items.
The consent calendar, a motion was made and a second was made. So we're voting on both items.
I'm sorry. I don't think that you gave us the opportunity to debate this or have a discussion on it. And I'm requiring that we separate them.
The motion was made and the second was made, and the vote is.
You should have, Chair, you should have the authority.
It was clear.
You didn't even give us the opportunity.
I said, is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar? A motion was made, a second was made, and I said, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
I heard that, but you did not give us the chance to even say we want to separate.
No one raised their hand to be recognized.
Her hand was up.
No, I didn't see your hand.
Of course you didn't, but it was up.
The
And
vote,
it's still up.
the vote has been, Madam Clerk, please call the final members.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
No, and I demand to my rights to separate these, and my hands was up.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
No, and I demand that we have an opportunity to discuss these agenda items.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to our staff communication. I do want to recognize the Director of Public Safety, Director McGinnis.
Greetings, Mayor, Council Member, City Manager, no report.
The Chair recognizes our City Clerk, Clerk Moore.
One final reminder, candidate packets are due April 22nd. That is 2 weeks from tomorrow. There are no exceptions on that. Your packet, your affidavit, your petitions have to be in by 4 p.m. on the 22nd.
Chair recognizes City Manager Little.
Thank you, sir. I'd just like to mention we are planning our work going forward here in the early spring. We anticipate a good bit more rain, so we're going to spend a little overtime trying to get some of these streets swept to try to clean some of the stuff out of the gutters that are washing into the drains and stopping them up, and also getting people out to stop drains that we know have been recently stopped up and so forth. But we continue to ask for cooperation from our citizens. If you have the opportunity and you can, if you can sweep some of that stuff out of the gutters, it will help all of us.
Chair recognizes Fourth Ward Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight, and as you see how our rights was violated, I will be filing charges. We are not going to sit here and our rights be violated. My hands was up. And I know everybody's seen it, even Commissioner Henry said my hands was up. That is not gonna happen. And I hope you all is paying attention to what all is going on here. Take care of your property, because there's an intimate domain, where is your property undervalued, you can take over, government can take it over. So pay attention to what's going on. Also, I consider the 210-page master plan is the project 2025. Y'all have a good night.
The chair recognizes Commissioner Kennard.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the things that I thought was really a slap in the face, because these consent calendar here, we always have asked, is there any discussion on it? And this is one of the things that I thought that we were going to be having a discussion, even though we want to bring it forward, a discussion. Now, the language, a lot of times, I'm a little bit slow on catching on to how you all are doing things. And I think this should always be open for us to discuss it before it's even a vote on it. So it's, like I said, it hurts me to see how a government is still tell us, come out and see how your government is being ran. And it's deceptive in a lot of ways. And I wanted both of these items to be discussed, because these items here are overlapping other things that has been pushed forward. So this is some of the things that I think is a slap in the face. I've seen also that trees through the storm has fell. We took $400 and some many $1,000 from the city income tax and gave it to our general fund. That's one of the things that I think is really a travesty, because it's supposed to be used for emergencies when the trees are falling. I remember that because I was a part of the city's income tax. And it was dissolved without me having any kind of information on even dissolving the insight on why the board was dissolved. And I know for a fact that trees were really included in us having, I know you don't want to hear me talk about it, but I was there and I know what was going on. So I'm really disgusted about how things are being done. And this is a prime example as to how things are being ran even tonight. I know we don't even have meetings that we go in to discuss certain things during the time after the meetings since I've came on. This is one of the things that I see that's a big change in things coming. One of the other things that I see, that we have a budget that goes in, what is it, in July, June or July? So that should be, that budget should be at least close to what you need for to take care of city's business. Last year, we had $800,000 that was placed in that general fund. This year, they've taken it from the city income tax. I voted no about that. When are we going to stand up and do what we're supposed to do with our monies? And it's a lot of little things that slide in. You said it's against the law for us to say certain things, but then you give room for others to do it. I'm getting tired of sitting and hearing this and seeing this. No, I'm not very articulate in government language, but my heart is right, and I know the right thing, and I know when things is done wrong, that hurts the community. Why? Because I'm a part of the community. That was one of the reasons I ran, so that I could be here to try to at least help, to sort of make sense, even pray and ask that we do the right thing. But I see that we ran up against some really hard factors. So like I said, you can do what you want to do, but I am against what is going on. Thank you.
Chair recognizes 3rd Ward Commissioner Henry.
That's a prime example of an official going rogue. And the mayor has a notorious habit of doing such acts, not reporting information to us. It's a lot of things that the Robert's Rules of Order have that the mayor don't seem to have any concern about. So I'm disgusted that he did this today because one thing that I found out about government is transparency. We vote on resolutions, memos, and all sorts of things, and we never read it. We never let the people know what we're voting on. And if the people knew some of the things that are targeted their pocketbook in this amendment and a resolution, and the other thing that shows biases in our practicing and allowing some people to have and some people not to have, and they can't see it because we didn't discuss it. So, during communication meeting, I asked that we start reading our resolution. That may be the chair or the clerk or whoever. Read the resolution so the people could know exactly what we're voting on before we vote. That's what everybody else do in other governments. And we need to be more transparent and find a way to do the best thing to make us look good, at least to give the people the knowledge of what we're doing to them. For them to do not understand what number 2 is and where it's going to affect their pocketbook is a travesty. And all I can say is shame, shame on you, Mayor.
Thank you for your comments. Chair recognizes Second Ward Commissioner Warren.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. So I did finish the artwork and our flyers are out, and I'll bring some to City Hall to pass out for the 517 cleanup of the Second Ward. We will meet in Pipestone Park at 10 a.m. And that might be a good opportunity to do with what the city manager was saying and kind of sweep your, is it drain, city manager? Sweep your area. Is that the proper term? The gutters, sorry, sweep the gutters for a Second Ward or for any residents on 517. I still have our town hall as tentative because I have not booked the library yet, so that's on my agenda to do this week. So by our next commission meeting, I'll have our date of the town hall set up. And that is all I have for comments. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Isom.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Representative Andrews, thank you for coming with us with the update. City under construction again. Is the outcome going to be great? It look kind of crazy right now, so drive safe out there, but it's worth it. You know, we expect great things to happen, and it's happening. We got the funds back. Thank you, Mayor, for your representation, building those relationships, helping getting that 20 million back. You know, it's very important for the city, for the Armory, Ox Creek, and all that area. Congratulations on Chief, new Ben Harbor City. You the head coach, right? Right. Orange and black. All right. All right, playoffs. All right, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Thank you for your comments, too.
Crying for the high school. They're not going to do what they used to do, what you did.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Westnott. Thank you so much. And just expect great things to happen in this city. And make sure you go down and visit the Martin Luther King statue. Seat at the table. God bless you.
Chair recognizes First Ward Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd just like to thank all of the residents that came out, thank this commission for the continued work. Mr. Andrews, thank you for your update on what is happening and just giving some more depth to some of the things that many of our residents and citizens are concerned about. Ms. Gloria, thank you for your acknowledgements and just the comments that you made about Gloria. Glenda, about the acknowledgements and the stuff that you see, because one thing I know, there's always room for improvement, but there are things that are being improved, and it's good when people notice the good that's being done. Everything isn't bad, and everything isn't a negative thing, but there are some things that we need to improve on, so it's not perfect yet. We're still working towards making the city of Benton Harbor a great place for all people. That has taken some time to get in all of the shape that it was, and it's taken time to get out of those same things. So just thank the residents and the community for just hanging in there, and it's been tough as it relates to the taxes going on to people's water bills that was brought up, that happened to us. A $900 bill turned into $2,100 at the courthouse once it went over there. So that's something that needs to happen, needs to be looked into when people don't pay their water bills after they sign an affidavit and you get stuck with paying somebody's delinquent water bill. But just thank, again, everybody for coming out, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. This is a quick meeting, which is a good thing. For all the comments, thank you. There is some concerns with a lot of that. When you do have a bill that goes from 900 to 29 or 2,100, the interest rate that is charged for just record keeping, and that interest rate goes like a payday loan with the county. There is a Wayside Church lawsuit that's going on versus Allegan County, where people were being when they were selling the property, they were getting 10 times or 20 times or sometimes 30 times more than they were on the hook for. So it was almost like monopoly. And so far, the county treasurers had appealed, but they just went to court on March 25th for the final hearing on it. And so some residents will be getting some money back because of what the judge ruled, that only thing they're required to pay is the taxes. Not, we had a tycoon who's running the treasury, and noticed that since they passed that lawsuit, you don't even have a tax sale at the bank anymore. They stopped all that. They were making tons of money hand over fist, and they were keeping the money. The money wasn't going back to the municipality. The money was going to the county. And so now the Supreme Court stopped that, which is a good thing. Benton Harbor is on the move. It's going forward. It's moving. Mayor, you did do a great job getting that money back, even though some people reap the benefit and never say thank you for getting that money back. That was on the hook from beloved President Trump. I apologize. Almost messed me up right there. It was kind of trying to get the name right. But we are in a unique position. I do want to say, Benton Harbor, I hope they knew what they were doing when they hired the coach. I'm just congratulations to Coach McGinnis. He's been doing it for a lot of years in another area, and he's been successful doing it. He's an outstanding track coach, and also I believe he'll be an outstanding football coach. If you don't believe he's outstanding, he broke some records, I think. And his son is a phenomenal athlete. Get it from his mother, but he's a phenomenal athlete. And he's going to do a good job. I believe in him, and I hope the best for the city of Benton Harbor. And I think we do need to keep our officials uplifted and praying for them and accountable because Benton Harbor is unique. This is a very unique city. with very great potential, but it's going to take unity in the community, and our unity is our strength. And sometimes we can agree to disagree, but don't let disagreement become hatred or something in your heart. No matter what somebody else does, it's never good enough. And I'm sorry, Honorable Mayor, I did not recognize Pastor Hoy for coming in. God bless you. Thank you. Expect great things.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all of the residents for tuning in on YouTube, as well as those who took time to come out today. I do want to thank Representative Andrews for your hard work and commitment for the city of Benton Harbor and this entire area. I know that there has been a political shift, but I do know that you have made friends on both sides of the aisle, so we do expect great things, in the words of Commissioner Isom, and for monies as well as support to come from Lansing. I do want to thank Congressman Heisinger. I had a very successful meeting with him here in Benton Harbor on Saturday, and he pledged to me that he would do all that he can to not only double down to make sure that every penny of the $20 million comes through, but also Benton Harbor has over $100 million in federal funds, which he visited Harbor Towers top to bottom. We now have $28 million for the complete total renovation of Harbor Towers, another $32 million for bus projects. Total renovations are not cut and paste and patch and, a little sheetrock over here, but total redoing where the people will have a new place to live. We also have the corner of Wall Street development, as you can see. They're putting the barricades around it. That's moving forward. We are right on the cusp of Project T. Our city manager is buttoning up the last, workings with that particular development. The $20 million, I just want to a resiliency hub, Bobo Brazil Community Center, providing emergency shelter, which is much needed, power backup, community programming, basketball courts, classrooms, weight room, skate, all of that, and that again is coming from the Community Change Grant, the 1.33 megawatt solar array powering city buildings, reducing operating costs, studying ways to assist homeowners, workforce development and job training, equipping residents with skills in electrical construction, building trades, and solar panel installation. Citywide recycling programs and education, which Commissioner Henry has been fighting for over the years. So $400,000 will go toward the Let Us Rest recycling program. $2.6 million Benton Harbor Community Development Corporation with a Garden House Resiliency Hub, homeowner grant program, workforce training program. This funding will empower our residents, create jobs, and build a more resilient, sustainable future for Benton Harbor over the next 3 years. And we're grateful for this opportunity and will continue to working to bring lasting positive change to our city. We had a clean, unmodified audit to close out last year with no findings, so I want to congratulate the staff. I was invited by the elected officials to protect America, to go back to Washington, D.C., to fight for the Inflation Reduction Act, as well as the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, to make sure that all of those funds come to the city of Benton Harbor, which our funds are flowing, but people can see the work that we're doing here and saying, hey, come fight for us as well. So Benton Harbor's name is out there. I just want to say for the record, one of those items, the Parks policy went through the Planning, Economic Development, and Park and Rec Committee twice. It also went through the Legislative Committee once. So that particular document has been vetted, beat, brought back, beat more, vetted. So in no way was it done to slight or create any distrust in passing those items. So with that being said, I do want to say the Public Safety Awards reception was phenomenal, Chief, and we do have a second part that will come here on Commission Night where we honor those officers that are most certainly worthy of due and honor. So thank you, Chief. And with that being said, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Warren. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard? Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.